All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate it. Guys, today's video, I wanted to dive right in. I'm trying to keep my videos lately under 10 minutes if I can, so I'm gonna try to do that for this video. I got one bonus tip I'm gonna share with you guys, and then I got some hopefully some good stuff to share with you about my tournament season so far. So in today's video, like the video states, I want to talk to you guys about the baits that have made me the most money this year so far with tournament fishing. I'm very thankful. Every tournament, I believe, has a different bait that I got to figure out, a different set of events and different things that's got to be figured out in order to achieve a result. So with that being said, I felt like it'd be good if I shared some of this stuff with everyone. That way, maybe it helps. Maybe it tells you what not to throw. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. But maybe it will help. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. So let's jump right into the video. So I want to talk to baits about that have made me money. So I may sprinkle in some from the past because it's kind of relevant. Everything's kind of relevant when it comes to fishing. A lot of it comes down to decision making on day of on the water. Either going with your plan or completely changing your plan or modifying your plan. Adapting is really key when it comes to tournament fishing. So I felt like I said, it'd be best to just maybe share, and like I said, someone can maybe get some information from it. So right off the bat, in this first one, actually, I'm gonna save that one for last. You guys got to tune in. Matter of fact, do it right now. Before I say anything, before you watch any part of the video, comment which bait that you think has made me the most money from tournament fishing. Comment what bait you think right now has made me the most money from tournament fishing, or if you want, comment the bait that's made you the most money from tournament fishing. Let's jump into it that way. That way I get you you guys involved here, because guys, I need more comments on the video. I need more comments. YouTube, push my video out so people watch my stuff. Come on, help me out. But yeah, guys. So I'm gonna go backwards here on the stuff. So first and foremost, I want to talk about a bait. This bait hasn't made me a dime until this year. So we're gonna start with that one, and it's pretty easy. You guys pretty much know what it is. Brands and stuff, I'm not going to be specific on the brands and stuff like that. I'm just talking about a style of bait. This is one that I had tied on already, but jerk bait right off the bat, a twitch bait, whatever you want to call it. I mean, there's obviously different names for all kinds of things, but for me, standard jerk bait. This bait has already this year has made me some money, and I'm very thankful for that. But this is a bait. This is a must-have if you're going to be fishing clear lakes, river. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I've caught some absolute giants on this in the river, where people are not thinking you're gonna throw something like this. You throw it in the river. Again, this may be not something they've seen all the time. You throw it and you're like, oh my goodness, there's where the fish have been. But in particular, a jerk bait. This bait by far has done really well for me all year long. And I absolutely love throwing it. I know some people hate throwing a jerk bait. I get it. The twitch and the pause versus just, and then you don't really know what the bait's doing. It's just kind of sitting there. So it's not like a spinner bait or a chatter bait where you always feel connected to the bait and the motion. It just sometimes is just sitting, and it'll get bites on just sitting. Sometimes it gets bites when you twitch it. Sometimes it get bites when you reel it back regularly. Sometimes it get bites when you're lifting it up out of the water. It just depends. But a jerk bait, hands down, has to be in your arsenal if you're tournament fishing and competitive and trying to be serious about it. I'm gonna just be real. You got to have this in your arsenal. So, your electronics is gonna play a role in whether or not you can be super duper successful with this. But people have been catching fish on jerk baits for years and years and years. I brought it up in this video because I need everyone to know that it's not a wintertime bait anymore. Like, if somebody tells you I throw a jerk bait in the winter, that's great. You're missing the rest of the year. Pull it out for the rest of the year. Pull your jerk bait out for the rest of the year. Don't get stuck in this winter time. I gotta throw jerk bait stuff. Throw that thing whenever it feels like you can throw it. If you got enough water depth and you can throw it, if you got structure in the water, you got standing timber, you got laydowns, it doesn't matter, man. You can pull out a jerk bait. You just got to be smart about it. Don't donate it to the water. Be smart about where you're pitching it, where you're casting it at, and jerk bait will be effective for you. But this has definitely made me a good amount of money this year, right off the bat. Another one here that's made me a ton of money last year and this year. Cannot go wrong with the Texas rig. And I just say Texas rig, but you can put on it whatever you want. For me, when I throw a Texas rig, it's usually going to be on a cleanup crawl. So I'm throwing a cleanup crawl, my standard go-to setup, 3/16, 5/16 ounce weight. I peg it, size 3 VMC hook, and we go to work. That's it. Literally, that's the setup. I throw this. Sometimes I'll remove these little flanges on the side. It just depends, you know, whatever I'm doing. But Texas rig cleanup crawl for me, hands down, is going to put fish in the boat. This made me money last year in the Toyota series. It made me money this year. You can flip it around anything. It's a Texas rig. You can put it around anything. But you can take it off and you can then put a Senko on. You can put, I mean, you can put whatever you want on here, whatever your favorite soft plastic is. But for me, it's a Crush City cleanup crawl, pegged, weight. I usually use 15-pound line. That's about the biggest line I put on my poles almost ever. 15-pound line, and I go to work. And that's it. I flip it. This bait is more about, less about like action color, is more about placement, because a lot of times you can place this in places that you can't throw other stuff, and you'll get the bite just because it went into that place where the fish wasn't expecting it, so it had to react. Or you can sit and drag it and, you know, barely hop it or hop it big time, whatever the case may be. But there's so many different ways you can fish it. I actually fish this too as a top water. Me personally, I mean, I fish it as a top water. I'll drag it on the bottom because it has legs that kick. So I've run it across the surface. If I'm flipping lily pads and I'm flipping at the base and I'm flipping in the lily pads, and then I'm just like, forget it, I'm just gonna bomb it in the back. I'll throw it in the back of the lily pads and burn it right over top, and just the legs smoked. I've caught a ton of fish just doing it. So people don't think about that kind of stuff, but flip it, pitch it, I'll burn it across the top. With this one, you got to have the right legs that kick to do the top deal. But Texas rig, creature bait, mine, cleanup crawl, Crush City, let's get it. It's ridiculous. I'll throw that thing forever. Now, with that being said, of the baits that have made me money so far, that's 2 out of the 3. I should have gave you guys a number. That's 2 out of 3. The number one most money producing bait for me, and guys, there's no chatterbaits in this list, there's no drop shots in this list, there's no scrounger heads in this list, there's none of that, okay? Number one money producing bait for me all year and throughout my entire tournament fishing career. And speaking of which, you guys got to give me a second. Speaking of which, before I do that, so you guys can see, this is my badge from my actual work. I actually work at Academy Sports now. So I'm telling you guys right now, I see what baits people buy. I see what people really don't care about when it comes to baits. They just want like a color or something. They just want something to throw in the water that can possibly get bit. But I work at Academy Sports now. I see baits every single day. I know what we run out of. I know what people demand we got to have back in there, what they're looking for. I'm seeing this stuff every single day, guys. So when I'm telling you about these baits, you can pick them all up at Academy. Go to academy.com, shop. You can have it delivered to your home. You can have it delivered to the store. Curbside, we'll bring it out to you, and you right back. You on the water. Literally, order it an hour before you leave your house. Have it picked up. Make sure it says it will be ready in an hour. It'll be picked up. We'll get the order ready for you. Pull up curbside, grab your bait. We'll run it out to you. Bam, you head right to the water. You good to go. Academy makes stuff so easy, guys. So I 100%. I love working at Academy. I'll be honest with you guys. I love working at Academy. And like I said, I'm not in charge of, but I work there unloading like the trucks and getting that stuff ready. So I'm telling you, I see where this stuff is coming from. There's a lot of stuff that you think is doing really well that no one gives a crap about, and there's a lot of stuff that's actually doing well. And I'm giving you guys some juice right now. I'm giving you some juice. I didn't say that in the beginning, but I do work there. But now back to our regularly scheduled program. Number one bait that's produced the most amount of money for me all my fishing career, which is crazy because I don't even throw it half the time. I don't even throw it for like a whole year at a time, which is crazy. Number one, this year, every year that I fished, the most amount of money that I've made from tournament fishing has come on a spinnerbait. In particular, this exact spinnerbait. This is a spinnerbait by, this one I will give the brand because this company does make a very good quality product. But Omega Custom Tackle, this is the spinnerbait. This is the Genesis spinnerbait. Big blade on the end, Colorado Willow, that's my combination. It also has this quick connect feature or quick disconnect feature where you can actually change the blade. You can change your second blade on it. So if you need a different color, I just pop the blade out just like that. It's that easy. You literally pop the blade out. You can switch it to a silver, switch it to another one, whatever the case may be. Quick connect deal. Pop it right back in and you're right back on the water. I literally changed my blade while I was in the middle of a sentence with you guys. They have it set up that way. It's got a ton of skirt colors. You can just order skirt colors if you like skirt colors. Like I said, the blade, phenomenal. Runs true. It's got this little keeper here to keep your line up at the top so it doesn't fall down. The hook is stout. I've caught some mondo. Some of my biggest bass of my life have come on this spinnerbait. I've held on to this one because this is the one I actually won my very first bass fishing tournament on. So I've held on to this one. I keep it up top. with my first place trophy. So I keep it up there. I never take this one. I never use this one. I will never use this one again. But and actually, this may not be the exact one I wanted on because it looks a little new. But still, I have the one somewhere that's brand new, or I was busting them in the head with it this year for tournaments. But it's my favorite spinnerbait. I absolutely love the spinnerbait. This is the one I throw. It's big. You got to work it slow. You got to give it a time. But once those blades get to kicking, and big fish come hunt this thing. So if you're looking at winning, you need a kicker, or you just want to have a good day of fishing. This thing right here, work it, throw it everywhere you possibly see wood in the water. Around wood, above wood, beside wood, throw it, you will get the bites. Now, last but not least, I wanted to share one more piece with you guys, and this is the bait that has cost me the most money in tournament fishing. And I'm going a little over my time, so I'm sorry about that, but this is the bait that has cost me the most money in tournament fishing. So I'm making a change to my setup because I'm tired of losing money for this. It cost me multiple tournament wins, multiple tournament top fives. This bait costs me money every time I hit the water, but it's also the bait fish only eat. So it's the whole reason why it has a whole line dedicated to it from me personally. So fish only eat Senkos, but they also only spit Senkos. They only don't grab the Senko fully. They also don't, they only get one Senko per fish. It's ridiculous. So this bait has cost me the most money. It's also made me a good amount of money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's all bad. It's actually a great bait. If you want to catch fish, you better throw one of these, like flat out. But it has cost me the most. And what I'm finding out, it's not the bait. It's the guy who's working the bait. So I'm really good at fishing a Senko. I have a lot of confidence in a Senko, but also I lose fish on a Senko. Some of it has to do with me and my hook sets. Some of it has to do with it gets bent over. Some of it has to do with, you know, whatever the case may be, like I said. But this one, I'm just telling you guys flat out. I'm a very honest person. I'm a very transparent person when it comes to some things. Some things I will never tell you guys, but this is one of the things where I'm talking to you. This thing cost me a lot of money. And my goal now for the remainder of the year is to try to fix this because I lost an absolute giant at my most recent tournament using this bait. And I have to, my dad actually asked me a really good question. And he said, because my dad's a very matter-of-fact type person, man. Stuff gets done, it needs to get done. He's got to get done. So he asked me a very simple question, and my mom as well. They both encouraged me. They're like my number one fans. My parents, I absolutely love them. They're amazing. But my dad asked me a very specific question after I told him I lost a fish at the tournament that could have got me a win. And he said, "Well, what are you gonna do different?" And I was like, I was mid fishing talks. I was just kind of going. Then I'm like, wait a minute. He's like, well, son, what are you going to do different? Why would you continue to lose fish on a specific deal if you know that you're losing fish and it's costing you money on this? Why are you? So he's like, what are you going to do different? So I got to thinking about that thing, and I'm like, okay, so if I swear my setup works, and it does, I'll land 98% of the fish that bite a Senko. I don't lose Senko fish. Y'all remember me saying this in several videos in the past. I don't lose Senko fish. When I hook a Senko fish on that little wacky rig hook I got, I do not lose fish. Not that hook you saw. I have a hook that I've been using. I don't look. When I stick them, oh, it's good money. I know they're coming in. But I will lose, like, I'll catch 9, I'll lose 1. The 1 will be a giant. I'll catch 8, I'll lose 2. 1 will be a baby, 1 will be a giant. But I notice when I lose them, it's always the same exact motion when I lose them. It's the same motion. And I've got to be better about it. I know the exact scenario, the exact setup. It's usually, I'll see if I can break it down to you guys real quick because I'm way over my time. But when I pitch out the bait, when I take it like behind my head and I cast it out and I make a long cast with it, or a flip cast type of thing. But if I look where I'm throwing and I make my cast and they bite it and I feel it, I set the hook, those usually come in. 10 out of 10 times, 9.8 out of 10 times, those usually come in. The ones that get me are when I flip it out when I'm trying to do something else. Like I see a good looking target, I flip, but I also know that I'm about to either turn my kayak, I need to back up and pedal, or I'm just making a flip because I want to bait in the water, but I'm not really too locked in on that flip. I just kind of pitch it out there real quick to get it out in the water, maybe some magic will happen. And usually when I do that, that's when magic happens. I make my little flip. I work my bait a little bit while I'm trying to either backpedal or I'm trying to turn or I'm fixing a rod back in the hold or whatever the case may be. And then I work my Senko a little bit, and then I go to lift it up out of the water. And when I go to lift it up out of the water, that's usually when they get it. And when that happens, I never get those fish in. That is the main time when I never get the fish in. It's usually never when I cast out, I work it, I'm looking at it, I'm line watching, twitch like that. When I see it, because my line takes off, I give them a second, and then I give them what I got, right? But the ones where I'm in the middle of something, I'm trying to do something. So how do I change that? How other than just always paying attention to when I cast, which I can, but when I'm about to run into the bank, I got to make some adjustments. So I'm going to work on that. I'm going to let you guys know what I decide, how it pans out, and we'll test it out in the next tournament. But I'm going to spend my time over the next 2 weeks working on my new method, see what I can do, kind of do that cast, and try to cast it in a good spot, but get caught off guard, like I am in some of these times, get caught off guard, and see if I could do enough to still make sure I land these fish. So I'm going to work on that, but that bait has cost me money. It's been costing me money for 5 years. I lost a $1,200 bass at Smith Mountain Lake on that same bait. Fish had shoulders. And I was fishing for a brand new nitro bass boat. That fish would have been like 7 pounds. I saw the fish. It was at least 6.5 at a minimum. So I would have at least won that hour, because it was definitely big fish for that hour. You can go back and check the standings. I know that fish was an absolute mondo. I lost a fish then. That was a user error. I understood that, but you guys see it still hurts like to this day. I lost one at this tournament that was over 6. I lost another one probably about 6 weeks ago, over 6 at a minimum. The mouth on this one and the mouth on the one I lost this past weekend or 2 weekends ago, whatever. Because here's the thing, I'm not guessing at weights on these fish. I'm not guessing at weights. I'm not like set the hook, it breaks off and it's like, oh my. No, it's not that. It's they get it, they go left, and they curl and they shoot straight up. They get it, they go this way, and then they shoot straight up. When they shoot straight up, they go like this, and the hook comes out, and they go back into the water. The hook comes out and almost hits me in the eyeball. It's the same exact scenario. It's burned into my brain because they go left and they go up and they go over and it comes out. So like I said, there's got to be a better way to get it. I'm going to try to work on that. But guys, hopefully this video helps. I wanted to share some of my top money making baits along with the bait that has caused me the most pain and agony that any person should possibly experience in their life, short of when a married man gets a cold, because usually when he gets a cold, he feels like the world is pretty much over, and he's on his last days. That's usually how that works. Losing that fish is about the same pain. So sorry guys, this is a little married humor joke. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys are awesome. This has been another video. Your boy Ty, I'm in the building, Bass and Furious. Thank you for everyone that watches, supports the channel. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Also, don't forget, you can place your order. They're not paying, well, actually they are kind of paying me because I work there. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, guys. Catch you on the next one. Peace.